If you could start over in a foreign city that doesn't know your name, would you?
Hey!
Niko Mermet did. France behind him, a new language, a new world, a city that asked nothing and offered everything, where three friends bet on each other and bought a French restaurant in the middle of America. They built trust one table at a time, turned hospitality into belonging, brotherhood into business. One leap led to another. Sidecar, cocktails on the road, and then a new kind of room, an event space where art, food, music, and people collide. A place for the next story to begin. This is Cezanne, and this is Bash the Status Quo.
What did you guys want the space to say to people the minute they walked in?
So if you look at like the lighting, the furniture, it's almost you walking into kind of like a workspace where you can just kind of like chit chat, have a meeting, etc. Except that there's art. This art over there is local, it's from Jim Sajovic, who was a teacher at KCAI. I love when people walk in and they're like, I love the abstract painting. And then I look at them and I was like, you don't see it's two person kissing?
Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
Do you know that's the first time I noticed that?
No way!
Yes.
See?
Oh
there
my
we
God.
Go. There we go. So my name is Nicolas Roger Gilbert Mermet, which in French is Nicolas Roger Gilbert Mermet.
And this is why American men should always be very fearful of any Frenchmen that come in the room.
Wait.
Ever. For someone who grew up in France and now is over in America, the middle of America, you're a rule breaker.
As a French person growing up, when you think of America, you think of LA and New York, etc. You don't think of Kansas City. But it's actually where you see, the true America.
How did this come to be?
So we all went to the same hospitality school in the Jura region, which is a beautiful region in France right next to Switzerland. There was one internship at that time that was abroad. And it's because my teacher was friend with the person that owned Café des Amis in Parkville. And I really wanted to go. It was very important for me to see something different. And then I got used to how nice people were. I mean, I remember going to the coffee shop in Parkville and asking for a coffee, and the person has a big smile and they're telling me, well, how's your day going? Well, you have an accent. And I'm just like, why is this person so nice to me? What does she want? And that was like a real culture shock for me because everybody was so friendly. It was so easy to talk to strangers. It was normal to talk to strangers in the street. And then I went back to university and then went to China. And my mentor, Walker, called us one day out of nowhere and said, there's a French restaurant called Westport Cafe. I know it doesn't really sound very French. That is for sale. Do you guys want to come back? And the rest is history.
Niko was telling a story about the first week or the first night? 3 line cooks walked off at the...
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we took over the previous team of the previous owner, and then we just changed a few things, not crazy, just out to season. One of them was like, I'm going to the restroom, and never came back. So I was like, all right.
When you first start and you're taking over somebody else's restaurant, now it's your restaurant, right? Yeah. Tell us a little bit about what that feels like.
You have to make sure people still love the brand of Westport Cafe, so we keep like few dishes that people really like and then we like as well.
I remember when Romain took over, the first thing he did, instead of like changing the menu, he would just do what he would call chef special. It was just like something he would just come up with every week, every other week. And then after we started really like changing the dishes and all this, but it took years. Yeah.
When you think about the partnership between the three of you, what is one word that you would use to describe what's happened over the last 9 years?
Brotherhood, I would say. We grew up in the same region, same county. Kevin and Niko know each other since they are 14 years old, and I know Niko and Kevin since I'm 18.
Have you guys ever had a moment where you're like having trouble with each other?
We talk about it, we have a very different personality, and then you also have to realize that like we went through COVID together. I mean, those moments were very stressful, you know?
When we do meeting together, we're always like, what's wrong? What we need to improve? We never start by we start by what is good, but I mean, like, we always like want to see where we can improve each other.
If we had no problem, that would be weird, right?
What does the Cezanne mean for you as far as like continuing to expand the business?
Nicolas was growing the catering company on this side, and he was operating the catering company from here.
It was way too small.
And it was, getting too small. Like, we were receiving like thousands of dollars of liquor here, and then he has to transfer everything. But so we were looking for storage at first, and then the venue came along, and it was like, maybe we should run a venue too.
What keeps the partnership strong? What keeps the brotherhood happening the way that it has thus for the last 9 years?
Willingness to evolve. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we improve every day. We have new ideas every day, and we don't have a lack of project here in Kansas City, I would say.
Restaurant industry is one of the hardest, very stressful. It's also the most beautiful business, I feel. And I think it's really important to have a strong business partners. Yeah.
What's it feel like to make that decision that you're like going to buy a restaurant in Kansas City?
America is the country of entrepreneurship. The way people value small businesses in America, the way people want to work with you when you're successful, nobody's going to support you the way people support you here. When you're like, I have an idea, I want to do this, and people are like, I'm down.
You know what? The first time I came down here was for the Creative Mornings event that you had. And then you and I were speaking about your cinema nights. Talk about that.
Yeah, the
That's
movie nights.
amazing.
Yeah. So it's a concept that we came up with that was created in Paris, from what we know. And it is a 4 or 5 course menu. The menu is actually inspired from the movie. So far it's been like a real success.
What was the last movie that you just did?
That was Les Diaboliques, which was for Halloween. It is the movie that inspired Alfred Hitchcock for Psycho.
So when's the next one?
Valentine's Day.
Okay, will you sign me up?
Oh, we'll sign you up.
Okay.
Absolutely.
How do you create a space that allows for intimacy and wild celebration?
I think the design of the space is actually great because it's not just a one big room. And so that's why I feel like, with the little private suite that you have in the back, on that side you have all the windows with the natural light coming in. I feel like the diversity of the space, not making it just a big room, white walls, concrete floor, that you already have the coziness and then the warmth that comes with it.
Moving halfway across the world and opening up a restaurant is definitely bashing the status quo. What does bash the status quo mean for you guys?
I think for me, it's more thinking outside of the box. I think if someone say, no, it's not possible, I always look at I think I have a brain like everybody does, so I think I can make this work. I mean, it's just not that difficult.
Yeah.
And always be creative. We were not making too much. We didn't have too many guests on Tuesday, so we create steak night. It's $20 a steak, and then you get the steak and fries. And then we got full now. Took years, but
Yeah.
You always have to. Some people always say, well, it's Tuesday, no one wants to go out. But you always find a solution, always be creative, and always think outside of the box. And then you always kind of can find a way through it.
Yeah, I think I totally agree about that, is that sometimes, people tend to not help you into achieving what you want to do. And then I've been that person before, and it's like, but I think when you truly have an idea, you truly think it's going to work, you do it.
Thanks, you guys. I know you got a lot to do, my man. Thank you so much.